What's up, YouTube? James Polk here. As of the time recording of this, ever since a few days ago, as of what I've heard from the news about in regards of the Charmer progress, is that the Lyna Link 2 will be officially released sooner rather than later. Who knows where she may end up? Lightning Overdrive, perhaps? Who knows? Anyways, this will be the one last profile version of Charmers, but this time I added in a little spice of the Magistus. So Familiar-Magistus profile for you guys, and this is going to be the one last profile without the Lyna Link 2 in TCG yet. So you already know how this goes. So without further ado, let's get to it. And of course, I made some changes in too. So basically, the 4 Familiar Possessed, 4 of them, and then 2 Fairy to Luna, and then the 1 Awakening Possessed, and then 1 Nefarious, 1 Inari Fire, 2 Gigabyte, and 2 Ranryu. The Nefarious and the Inari Fire, this was one of the changes I made because last list I played 2 and it just made me realize both of the second copies of Nefarious and the Inari Fire, it never really came up as much as it used to for making other Charmer links. Presumably if I had a second copy, of course. In some situations is where if you have the Awakening Possessed and the Unpossessed as well, you pretty much guaranteed yourself some big boost. And then the Field Spell, Grand Spirit Art. This is to help you get your animals out faster from deck to hand, as long as you have the Familiars out. And then the 4, Awakening of the Possessed Monsters. Nothing more, nothing less to say. And then Zoroa and Injection Lily. And the reason why only 1 Zoroa, to be specific in this, is because in the mirror, it's like, usually that scenario comes up where you find a way to make Hita take their Zoroa so that you can use their Zoroa to your massive advantage. So that way you can get your Ornament Search off and then Zoroa's effects as long as you have your legal level 4 spellcaster targets, and then you just pretty much go ballistic at that point. But otherwise, the 1 Zoroa in generic use is that you rather see Zoroa at a proper time, because during testing, I tried 3 and 2. Like, most times is where, like, again, I really don't want to overdrawn the card a whole lot. But at the same time, it's where if I were ever to get the advantage off by having Hita, and then it's basically free all day at this point. And then the 3 partnerships, and then the 1 Unpossessed. And then 2 Crowleys, or as I like to call it, Kid Alistair. And then the Reliona, just one of it. The Kid Alistair is absolutely stupid insane because attribute change is really important, so that it accesses you to all Charmer links and Awakening of the Possessed if needed to. And then the Reliona, on the other hand, it's basically where if for some reason one of your banished spellcasters is on there, unless counting the Kid Alistair to tutor the equipping facilitate and whatnot, you could just have the Reliona place that spellcaster back so that your partnerships or along with another card is actually live in terms of reborning it from the graveyard at any given point in time. And then the rest of the generic staples, nothing changes anything. And then the Monster Reborn, that is the one I added this time. because of this specific target. And obviously, Pot of Avarice still. And then 3 Dark Rulers. And then triple Evenly Matched. Extra deck. To each of the Charmer links. Nothing more, nothing less. And then Selene, of course. Nothing else to say about her. And then 2 Artemis. In some variants of the deck, some play 3. But at the same time, it's basically where your extra deck space is really, really tight. I don't know why. Okay, to be fair, I really didn't know about how the Magistus engine worked the first time I play tested it. And it just made me realize Zoroa turns out to be the play starter of all cards. So, and I figured to myself, if I see the Zoroa and if my opponent doesn't have answers to stop this full combo, it's like, oh, okay, I could just pretty much get the advantage off if needed to. And then access code, you got too many links with different attributes, really relevant. And then Mud Dragon and Thousand Ice Restrict. Mud Dragon, best card in extra ever, as it should be, because another attribute change. And then Thousand Ice Restrict, on the other hand, this is the part where last list, I normally use Restrict for spot removal, but the only thing I never realized about Restrict this whole time was him being a level 1 spellcaster, and it's not just because of the Link Karibo targets. It was about Artemis's Link requirements, which happens to be level 4 or lower spellcaster. So it basically made me think, Restrict, steal away their monster, go straight to Artemis, and then if you have any extenders, you can just go full combo. And on top of that, Monster Reborn and Selene can help you bring this back. And then if you're ever to bring back the Restrict, this is the part where you maintain control in terms of all monsters everywhere on the field that's not Restrict are unable to switch battle positions or unable to attack. So at this point, you gotta pretty much have Restrict get even beefier in terms of higher attack power so that you can pretty much start swinging over big stuff if needed to. And then Psyframe Lord Omega, it's because Zoroa is a tuner if nobody ever noticed about it this whole time. And Omega is really, really strong. A lot of times it's where if you were ever to get hand trapped, you could just pretty much Omega them with another card out of their hand so that they could just pretty much start with a lesser hand of sorts based on the advantage of sorts. And with that being said, this is James Polk on this one last profile of the Charmer versions. And this is without Lyna. And if there were ever a change to this extra deck, so basically it will be one each of the Charmers now, just to fit in with Lyna once she shows up in Lightning Overdrive. Who knows? And then other than that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And see you guys next time.